What's up, you guys? Do you hear that? It's a bird. Spring's here. It feels good. Today's a warm day, and today's a green day, the 31st consecutive green day. And I am feeling good. This hot streak is continuing here. I was just at the end of the recap talking about how this is the longest, this is the second longest hot streak, consecutive green day hot streak I've had. The first is 56 days, the second is 30 days, so broke that today. And this is the most profitable hot streak that I've had because the previous ones I was being, for whatever reason at the time, much more conservative on my position sizes. And maybe the momentum in the market was a little different. I don't really recall. But in any case, I'm sitting right now, not including today, with about $160,000 in gross profit since my last red day, which was at the end of March. So, as I sit here and it's, time check, 11:15 a.m., I feel like, just like for a moment, I remember the fact that right now, there's a lot of people out there that are only 2 or 3 hours into a 8-hour work day. Maybe working from home, because probably people working in offices or cubicles or whatever are being told to work from home right now. But in any case, that they still have a full day ahead of them, really. And that here as a day trader, I'm really able to kind of make my own schedule. Well, the market, I suppose, makes my schedule. It's, for me, it's 9 a.m. to 10:30, 11. I could trade just the afternoons if I really wanted to, but the morning is the time I really prefer. So in any case, I've got this schedule. It's 2 hours a day, and then the rest of the day is mine. If I want to do nothing, I can do nothing. Now, I did nothing for a period of time, and I got kind of bored of it, and now I like doing things in the afternoon that I enjoy. And so starting June 1st, summer school is in session. So we're going to teach a whole new round of the classes starting June 1st. All Warrior Pro students, you guys will have access to the live room where I'm doing it. And don't worry, I will email you all of the info, so you don't need to email me and ask for info. I will send you all the info as we get closer to June 1st. But for those that aren't already in the classes, I encourage you to join us starting June 1st. Every day through June, we'll be doing live trading in the morning. So class will start around 9 a.m. Live trading in the morning, watch list, market opens at 9:30, trade until 10:30, 11, finish trading, recap the trades, then teach 1 or 2 chapters from the classes, do Q&A on each of those chapters, and then we'll still probably be able to call it a day by, 1:30, 2:30, 3 in the afternoon and enjoy the weather in June. All right, so there's going to be a coupon code that you guys can use, SUMMER40. You can check it out on our website to become part of the community and take part in summer school. And it'll last the whole summer. So during July, we'll do the same thing, live trading, watch list live trading, and then we'll go into the recap, do some Q&A, and here and there through July, I may do a live class, a retake of one of the classes I did in June that was really popular, people had questions on, and so on and so forth. So I hope to see a lot of you guys in there. I know that for many of you, you're probably thinking, wow, it's been a while of kind of being at home, and this is a good opportunity to make good use of that time. So study up. You guys can join us really anytime now or in early June. All of the classes, the first classes, if you miss a class, they're all going to be recorded, archived, uploaded, so you can watch a class that you miss. All right. So I'm excited for that, and I'm just feeling really good right now. My trading has been solid. We've had some really good momentum in the market, and I am going to just try to keep this hot streak going as long as I can. And one of the things that's important right now is that I start each day with small size. By starting with smaller size, if that trade doesn't work, then I can size up on the next trade, and I can every day that I've gone red, I've been able to get myself out of the red and into the green. So I think this strategy of sort of the different way I've been positioning my share size has also helped result in more consistency. And that was a change that really came out of some of the lessons I learned from the market dropping 35% in February and March. So out of that kind of, roller coaster, I learned some lessons that is really seems to be helping my trading right now. So I hope to see you guys in the classes. Enjoy today's recap, and as always, questions, comments, leave them right down below. All right, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, at least hit that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. All right, I'll see you guys for the next episode. Bye. All right, you guys. So we're going to go over the recap, the trades from today. 31st consecutive green day, $6,465.85 in profit. And I am on a fantastic hot streak. This has been a really nice one, no doubt about it. This is my second longest hot streak that I've ever had. So on the month of May right now, before today, this is where I was sitting. Whatever this was, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green days. So today's the 10th green day. And I was sitting with gross profit of 68 grand, $68,405. So add another 6,000 to that, we're at 74,000. And I've still got, a full, how many days left in the month? 10, 11 days left in the month. So if I can average, my best month of all time is 117,000. I have a shot at breaking that this month, but I don't want to get fixated on that because it doesn't really, it's even the year that I had 117,000 in 1 month. It's great to have a $100,000 month. It feels really good, but ultimately, what's more important is consistency. This is a marathon, not a sprint. There's no reason to try to race to the finish line and trip over yourself and get in trouble, have an injury, take a huge unnecessary loss, big risk. Just, try to focus on slow and steady. But at the same time, I'm a competitive person. I know my all-time best. I like to try to set records. I like to try to break it. I haven't had a record breaker green day this month in terms of all-time biggest green day. My biggest green day is 40 grand. I might have had a chance at it yesterday, being up 25,000 if I had kept trading aggressively, but sometimes I was really thinking this over yesterday. I could be so critical of myself. I can be my own biggest critic in the sense that I'll feel FOMO that, man, I should have taken my entire IRA account and, dropped it into Amazon back in February. Look at Amazon. It's down to 1,600 up to 2,400. The account would be up 50%. Or, why don't I just take that 100,000 share position and have a trade on whatever it is, one of these AHPI type of stocks that rips up $40 a share. And, I'll get a $1 million winner. And that doesn't happen to me. Why doesn't it happen to me? I would have to be a different person to make that type of decision. That's not who I am. I'm not the type of person that's willing to take that level of risk. If I took a huge position on Amazon, all of a sudden on a swing trade, I could be sitting down $50,000. That would be my biggest loss I've ever had as a trader. I take a 100,000 share position, it doesn't work, I'm down 150 grand. I've seen people take $150,000, $200,000, $300,000 losses. And you would think that's not even possible on small caps. But if you take big enough size and you're not managing your risk, it is. And, so I would have to be a different person to make that type of money. So it's kind of like sometimes, as someone who's had anxiety and stuff like that, it's easy to think about, worst case scenarios. But then on the flip side of that coin, worst case scenarios like, I've got, pain in my wrist. I must have it's going to be like permanent, or I have a headache. It's going to be a brain tumor or something like that. And the flip side of that is, I think, looking at all of these amazing things that you could have done if you were a totally different person, if you lived in a world that you don't live in, where you could have taken 100,000 and turned it into $1 million. Sure, someone could have done that. Someone who would have also been comfortable losing 100 grand on an incredibly high risk trade. So, we are who we are, and I'm the type of person that each day I come into the market and I want to generate some consistent profits. And I don't feel comfortable usually taking a tremendous amount of risk. And for that reason, I haven't had a record-breaking green day. But I've been really consistent. And so it would actually be kind of cool if I ended up having, second or third best month of all time here in... Girl, seriously, go lay down. Go lay down. Girl, in your house. In your house. She's listening. So, that would be really cool if I ended up having a record month without having a record day. But anyways, that's a little bit of a tangent. So today, these were the 4 stocks I traded, all beginning with the letter A. Today was an A day. I don't know what it was, coincidence, I'm sure, but ALT, AKER, AIM, APDN. So top of the gap scanner this morning, right around 9:25 a.m. So 9:25 a.m. we're running the gap scanner, and I saw leading gapper was APDN. Well, I've traded APDN on a number of occasions, and last week, as you may recall, it gapped up and sold off. It now has a very well-defined history of gapping and selling, gapping and selling, gapping and selling. Now, I said that, and I made $149 on it. I said that I was interested in it if it could break that trend. And so I took a trade right here and right here as it was starting to pop up on those little breakouts, but only with 1,000 shares. I was just trying to kind of get something started and see whether or not it would break over the VWAP. It hit the volume weighted average price. It couldn't break it. But I do think that because so many people probably have a short bias on it, given its well-defined pattern of failing, that the first time it actually breaks that trend, it's going to rip some short sellers, and it's going to squeeze, and it's going to be impressive. Today, maybe that day if it opens up later, but it doesn't look like it is. So the only trade on APDN was in this area. It was actually the last trade that I just took, and it was just a small winner. So second leading gapper, BPMX. This is too cheap. I don't trade stocks under $1. E-Man, also too cheap. And then we've got AIM. I made $700 on AIM. I'll go over that one in a second. This one actually does not have a 2.3 million share float. I checked 2 other data feeds, which you guys can check MarketWatch or FinViz. There's a lot of different sites that you can check. I just usually check a couple and just see what do other people say the float is. And I saw one other site said the float was 26 million. Another site said it was I don't know, I can't remember. It's 19 million or something like that. So that made me think that it was probably not actually a 2 million share float stock. Now, you can go into the SEC filings on these stocks, and you can do it. It's kind of it's not that much of a hassle, but you got to do it. You got to go through, you've got to search. Let's see, I'll just pull it up here. So we're going to do a company search. So if I do a fast search here of AIM, I can do the search, and then let's see. So this is the 10Q filing. Let's see, hang on. So interactive data. Oh, it looks like the 10QA, so they did an amended filing. So anyways, you can go in here and where is it going to say? Is it on this one? I'm trying to remember where they put it. I thought it was, usually they have it like right. So this is all the balance sheet stuff. Where's the shares? Stockholder equity. No, I'm trying to remember where it is. I was just looking at it on another stock. But in any case, we've got 10Q here. So you can go in here and you can go through this and you can find it. But I checked a couple sites and I was like, all right, it's clearly not a 2 million share float. So, oh, here it is, sorry. This is the one I was looking for. So the float's 29 million shares. All right, it's the equity common stock shares outstanding. Yeah, that was the first page I was looking for. So anyways, data feeds, market data, there's so many different feeds that people can subscribe to, and Trade Ideas obviously uses a data feed. I don't know who it is, but sometimes they don't have information on the stock. It's gray like it is here. Sometimes they have the information that's it's wrong or it's a little off. So it's good to double check it if you have a reason to think that it might be off. And I had a reason to think so on AIM because pre-market it had 5 million shares of volume and the level 2 looked really thick. And I was like, this doesn't look like a 2 million share float stock. It's trading pretty thickly. So I wanted to double check it, and in fact, it is closer to 30. So anyways, this one, we had this red to green move right here. That was a pullback trade. And then I took a dip trade on it buying a sell-off and a bounce, and that was right here as it dipped down to 508. And this was actually a pretty nice trade as it bounced back from 508 up to 520. Let's see if I can show you that. Hang on. All right, so all right, so I'm just going to pull up this trade. Let me see if I can find it. Where was it? That was that one. I'm just going through my trade down here. Okay. So this was AIM right here on this side. So it just dropped here. It had a low back in this area of about 305. So I kind of thought 305 was a possible support level. So as it drops right here, and I'm going to put it up here, I'm watching it. I've got my hand on the buy button, and it's kind of holding right here. And I saw some green prints going through. Green prints going through here. Now, it does look like that's a hidden seller, but to me, I was like, all right, there's a lot of green prints going through, and this is right at its low. So I put the order at 11. It's a marketable limit order. And I jumped in there and got filled at 10, but probably like 309.99 or something like that. So anyways, I was in there. It pops up to 15. Nice little bounce off the low right here. And you can see how this was also this ascending support line. So nice dialed in entry. And on this one, I just kind of held it for a second. It pops back up to, I believe it was 320-ish. Can't remember. I put an order out at 321 to sell, put another one at 319. And then what I'll sometimes do is I'll go and look at another chart. I'm kind of looking at other things, but I have an order out there. So if it does pop up real quick, then I can get out. So here I'm like, hey, that's nice, 17. So I throw an order at 17. I actually just clicked it. I could use my hotkey, but I just went ahead and clicked it. So I've got my order at 17. It'll sit there for a second. I'm on NASDAQ. You can see my order is highlighted in yellow. So just waiting for my order to get filled. Honestly, sometimes it feels like you're the last one to get filled. It's like, wait a second. I don't even see ARCA up there. I don't even see NASDAQ. What the heck happened to my order? All right. Like, honestly, that's weird. My order should have filled faster than that. It's 318. But for whatever reason, it was a little slow. So, and then I put a new one at 19. I'm just taking profit 10 cents. Now 9,000 shares, that's a $900 winner. So it's a nice little pop off the lows. And trying to take profit into that breakout. So I've got one order at 18 there. 19, I was a little worried about this upside resistance up here. And as I saw all that selling, I was like, nah, I better hit it. I better hit the bid and bail out. So I bailed out with a hotkey and whatever, it's fine. Probably $600 winner or something like that. So anyways, that actually put me green on AIM. I had a red trade prior to that. It must have been this one up here that I got stopped out on. So then on the gap scanner, we also had ALT, 15 million share float. And this one I liked because I had a nice pre-market chart. It was holding up pretty well, as you can see right here. And it had a nice headline, nice catalyst. All right, so we've got news here. I look at the daily chart, and I saw that this really didn't have any resistance until 594. So this is what we talk about in Chapter 4 of the Warrior Pro class. And again, as a reminder, summer school is starting on June 1st. So starting on June 1st, I'll be teaching classes every day. Now, of course, I've already been... right after we finish this recap, we'll jump into the Warrior Pro room and we'll do, probably whatever, an hour or so of Q&A. So I already do that, but starting in June, during that same period of time, we'll go in and each day I'll probably teach one or maybe two chapters of the course. So through the month of June, I'll reteach the classes, and then in the month of July, I'll again be kind of reteaching some classes here and there, doing QA sessions, so on and so forth. So all of those classes will be recorded, archived. Existing Warrior Pro students, you don't have to do anything. I will notify you and give you guys lots of heads up about where to log in, time of day, everything else. But for those that aren't already in the classes, it is a good time to join because you'll be able to be there while we're teaching them live. These classes, of course, are the recordings of the last time I taught it live. So to be able to be present while I'm doing the classes is nice. I'll teach the class, then at the end of each chapter, we'll do some Q&A specific to that chapter, and then that'll all get recorded and uploaded. So yes, chapter 4 is the daily charts, and this had resistance not till 594. So right out of the gates, it ended up squeezing up to 550, doing a 1-minute pullback, topping out at 574 before dropping pretty aggressively. It did curl back up above VWAP, but it didn't hold up super well. So that's kind of disappointing. But the trade there was the long right here for the break of the pre-market high, which was 510. AKER, this popped up in the morning right here with news. It halted twice in a row, and I didn't actually buy it until this pullback, like right down here. I bought this pullback. It popped up to a high of 540. I then bought down here off of support. It squeezed back up over 5. So my trades on this were actually dip trades. I missed the news and the first halt, and then I was too slow getting in for the second halt. So this was kind of like FWP yesterday, squeezes up, gets halted, opens higher, but on this one I ended up missing the bulk of the move. So that's ALT, AKER, and APDN, the 4 stocks I traded, giving me $6,465.85 of profit without any single home run. So that's awesome. This is a really solid green day. The momentum is definitely continuing right now, and I'm going to continue to try to be aggressive to try to capitalize on this sort of window of volatility and opportunity that we have right now, knowing that statistically the market, of course, has waves where things are really hot and then they slow back down and then they heat up again. So if I pull up my TraderView stats here again for you, I can just go like back to last year. Well, I'll just do like all time. So if I do all time here, filter, it's almost $2 million in gross profit. It's exciting. And this isn't my all-time trading career, but this is all time since I started using TraderView. So down here, oh no, I wanted to look at win-loss expectation. So this is, I'll zoom in on this. So this is my cumulative equity curve right here, and this is over the course since 2016. So you can see how there's been periods in the market that have been, that have given more opportunity or less opportunity. So I would say like, let me just get my drawing tool. All right. Okay, so I would say that this area, like right through here, right through here, some really nice opportunity. It slowed down a little bit right there and then picked up again here. A little choppy through here, picked up again here. Choppy through there. And now that was like, 8 weeks. Up, a little choppy, back down. So this section right through here, was kind of slow. And that was actually leading into kind of like January. And now these last couple of weeks and months have been pretty good. Early on, I was more conservative in my trading. As my account got bigger and my confidence grew, I started taking more share size. This right here was the beginning of my $583 challenge, January 2017. So, we had this kind of move here, a little sideways, and then this is where things really opened up. So, but anyways, I would say this is kind of the ebb and flow of momentum. Fortunately for me, it's just been, generally up. I haven't had any sustained periods of down, but that's also because of the strategy I trade. So, if you overlaid that against the S&P 500, obviously the S&P 500 has not been quite so consistent, right? The S&P 500 is certainly, you go back to 2016, so that's this period here. All right, so January 1st, 2016. This is the period that this takes place in. So let's kind of look at that. Again, this could be less than perfect. This isn't really scientific, but if I kind of push this in here like this, so you can see how I've done well during weak markets. It hasn't really had a significant impact. Really not very significant at all, which is good. And that's because I'm day trading. Now, my 401k my long term probably looks the same as the S&P. I buy S&P ETF, and so it's going to be the same as the S&P. It's going to be up and down, up and down. But I don't look at it every day. Obviously, I get the dividends and stuff like that. With day trading, there's no dividends. You don't get that benefit. So you don't really get compounding growth, but you can, I think if you obviously dial in your strategy, you can get more consistent growth, more consistent daily returns. And if you kind of think about the math, if you had a goal of generating, if you had a goal of making $30,000 a month in retirement, that's like, that's a serious monthly retirement. That's $360,000 a year. So to make $360,000 a year just on like interest on a long-term account, just drawing 4% on that account, you would have to have, based on the rule of 300, 30,000 times 300, you would need to have a $9 million portfolio in dividend paying stocks to pull out that 4% a year. So the prospect of being able to make last year I made $370,000. So I made $370,000 last year with account sizes that ranged during the year from as low as $500 to my IRA, which was probably over, 80, 90,000 during the beginning of the year. So that's a much better return on your investment, but it's not passive. You have to do the work and you need the strategy, and it takes time to get there. So for those of you who are on the journey, I hope that these equity curves start to look better as you gain more experience and gain more confidence. All right, so that's it for the recap. We're going to switch gears here and jump into the Warrior Pro room. I'll do Q&A for you guys and see if you have some questions on today's trades. We can review the live trading archive, of course, and then I will see you guys first thing tomorrow morning back here for Friday. And at this point, I just want to try to have a decent end to what has been a fantastic week. And I am so excited tomorrow to import today's trades for the month of May and for Thursday and see what the month of May is looking like after another $400 of profit. This is just a really nice hot streak. So day 31 and 56 consecutive green days is my all-time record back from 2016, I believe, into 2017. I think, now let's see, let's look at this. Let's actually go back to 2016. I think that's when it was. I could be mistaken. Let me look at 1/1/2016 to 12/31/2016. I wonder if it was 15. It must have been 15 going into 16. Yeah, because it was from November until January, and it wasn't 17. I'm almost positive it wasn't 17 going into 18. It was longer ago than that. So this will be my longest hot streak in like 4 years. The 30-day hot streak, I can't remember when that was. I don't know when that was. I'd have to. Was it in? No. This was a nice hot streak. That was a no red month. This was a nice hot streak too. It might have been somewhere in here. I'll have to go back and look. But it doesn't really. It would only be relevant in terms of comparing. Yeah, no, this is where it was. Yeah, this is going in the beginning of 16. Yeah, so this was actually. I don't think this was the 30-day hot streak. I think this was the one that was 56 days and then went into what was that? 7/6/2016. So let's just filter this. I think we went to 12. Or was it 11? Yeah, 12 was the first red day. So, yeah, I'd have to go. I don't remember. I don't have anything imported from 15 here. But that hot streak, which would have been just from this section here, 10, 19. So let's see. So that's 19 days. That's 24 days. So that's 29 green days in a row up to there. So up to the 11th. Let's see how much I made just in that little stretch. I'm sure I didn't make as much, only 15,000 bucks. Accuracy was 70%, but I was trading much more conservatively back then. So yeah, the hot streak I know began back in December. But you know what? A really nice profit loss ratio, nice accuracy, good metrics, all around good metrics, just not nearly as much money. So this will be, although currently only my second longest hot streak, I would say this that I'm on right now has been my most profitable hot streak that I've ever had. And in the sense of longest, most profitable hot streak without a single red day. One red day doesn't end a hot streak, for the record. One red day is just one red day. A hot streak can continue if that red day is only, $50. But in terms of just thinking of consecutive green days, this is been the most profitable consecutive green day streak. $161,000 in gross profit, not including today, since my last red day. So that's a pretty awesome green streak. And if I can get to 56 days, I'm gonna do something really special, but let's just take it one day at a time. Today was day 31. All right, so that's it for me. Let's jump over to the Warrior Pro Room and we'll do some Q&A over there. Hey, did you know every morning I go live to stream my pre-market watch list? Subscribe to the channel, press the alert button, and you'll get the notifications. And if you want to learn more about trading, check out the links in the description. And if you have questions, post them in the comments because I personally respond to every comment posted on my channel.